talk. Let's get rid of this blue chair. Ready, 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 ready. Out of the shot, yo. You're still in the shot. Okay, I know a lot of you have been asking for the 23mm review. Let's take it out of the box. All right, guys, the 23mm f2. I'm like the last one on the block to get this. It's the black noir version. All right, you guys know how much I love my 27mm f2.8. So small on the Fuji XT20. I've got the grip on the Fuji XT20 right now, but let's check this puppy out. The 23mm f2. When I did the 35mm, I had it upside down, so let's make sure we put it right side up this time. And there's what she looks like. Oh, that's pretty. Here's the 23mm next to the 35mm f2. They look kind of like cousins. Here it is next to the 56 1.2, and here it is next to the kit lens. All right, this is what the 23mm looks like on the Fuji XT20. It is nose heavy, so if you put it down on your table, it will do that. Okay, here's what it looks like on the Fuji XT2. Whoa, Fuji XT2. And with the Fuji, whoa, sorry, cap's head. So the Fuji XT2, it's not top heavy. It'll just stay nice on your table like that, so you'll look a lot cooler. All right, so this is like usual gonna be a very real world review, what I think of the lens. I'll show you some like pixel peeping stuff. I know you like that. But for the most part, it's gonna be my, I watched some lens reviews on people, and I don't think they really use the lens long enough. And so I used the lens for over a month and shot with it, had it on the camera, wouldn't take it off. So I like to actually use it so that I can give you my real feel. Now remember, my motto is we're all built different. So this lens may not work for you, or it may be the best thing you ever owned, okay? Don't go by what I say. What? Just like every lens, the first thing I did was take a picture of cap just to see the detail in like the fabric and the fiber, and also minimum focus distance. And this was my first hint I'll get to that. Great for food photography. This lens is fantastic if you are shooting overhead food. Look how glazy and delicious the chicken looks there. But when I shot these tacos, again, I saw that haziness come up. Now I'm shooting really close. Again, I like to use the minimum focus distance on my camera. So I'll usually focus and then you know, sort of focus by moving the camera to find the spot that's the closest. And I wasn't getting what I wanted here. Let's see what I'm at here. I'm at f2, okay? So then I stopped down to 5.6 to get some of the chicken up here. And so you kind of have to stop. If you're gonna be shooting like I like to shoot really close, you're gonna have to stop down is the first thing I noticed. At f2, what I at first was thinking like it was a depth of field issue, minimum focus distance. I don't think that's the case. I don't think the lens excels at all at shooting how I like to shoot, which is wide open and close up. Kind of like what the 16mm from Fuji can do really well, and also the Rokinon millimeter can do really well. I'll talk about that in a second. So checking sharpness really quick. This is at f2. The lens depends what you're shooting, but at f2, I find it to be kind of like a dud. You'll have to do some extra sharpening, I think, in post if you're gonna use it at f2. Okay, let's do some comparisons here. Left is f2, right is f4. So at f4, it gets a little sharper, but not much. Once you go to 5.6 and higher, this lens is like, nice. f8, super sharp, super crispy, of course. Here's another shot. Originally, I tried this shot at f2, and then I had to go to 5.0, f5 to start seeing some more detail in the bikes and the brick. So I felt that when I was shooting from far away even, that at f2, I wasn't getting what I wanted. Here's another example, shooting wood, so exciting. Nice and close up to see the grain. At f2, it's a complete fail, but I have to stop down. So if I go to, this is 2.8, it gets a little better, but once you hit 4, you start to roll. You start to roll at f4, And then 5.6 is like totally crisp as what I'm seeing from the other lenses from Fuji, okay? The bokeh on the lens is really nice. If you're close to objects and you get them in focus, the background is soft and nice. It doesn't have like that nervous bokeh that we talked about in the 27mm review. It's a little bit smoother. Here's a shot at 2.0 that looks crisp and nice. The camera captured all the little droplets on the bottle. It also has beautiful bokeh in the background. So the bokeh is really nice on this lens. This is what the lens is great at. So if you're a street shooter and you want to use a prime, this is a 35mm equivalent is great. If you're sticking around 5.6, f4, I think that it is like a workhorse for that. So when I was walking around Costa Rica on the streets, I was loving it for that. So using the flippy flip and trying to get street photography scenes, awesome. The lens is quick to focus. Here's another shot. This one's f4, and you can see every little droplet of water. It looks super crispy to me. Crispy, crispy. The water here is nice and sharp. I didn't try this shot at f2. I should have. Sorry, I wasn't thinking about you. This is from the photo walk. Can you do portraits with the 23mm? Absolutely. Environmental portraits where you can see a little bit of the background were fun. This is shot at f2 as well. It's sharp enough, I would say. Let's check his hair here, his arm hair. Again, I'm finding at f2, it's just not like super crispy. You get spoiled by the 56 1.2, dang it. Here's a portrait at f2, beautiful bokeh in the background. It's a nice focal length to shoot everything. Like I said, food, street, you can do environmental portraits without too much distortion. So it's nice. One of my favorite ways to shoot portraits is full body with bokeh in the background. So I usually use the Sigma on my Canon gear to get really nice bokeh in the background. So this is the most you can get here, as close as I can get to a subject full body and how much bokeh you get in the background. It's not enough bokeh to be as dreamy as the 50. We're not sponsored by this. And then I saw Cap, like real Cap. In Hamilton in Canada, they had like a Comic-Con and I saw Cap. I had to run over to him and be like, can I do your portrait? And so this again is a cool little portrait with the 23mm. It's great for environmental portraits, perfect for that. I also got to meet Star-Lord. Now, where the lens excels is street photography. Fun street photography like this. This was shot at 2.8. I like to shoot wide open to see what the lens does. This also froze the action at 2,000 of a second. But street photographers are gonna love this lens. Now, can you do this stuff with the kit lens? If you have the kit lens, absolutely. If you have the kit lens, you can shoot at 23. There's a little 23 written there, and you can set it to 5.6 and you can do street photography with sharp pictures, no problem. Another little street moment. Kids are like, what you looking at? It's the perfect focal length for street because I found that with the 35mm, I would walk by this woman with her cigarette. I would have to back up way a little too much to actually get her in the frame and the environment in the frame. But I was almost right kind of next to her and was able to shoot really quick. Those of you that do street photography know what I'm talking about. This focal length is great for general street photography and gives you a variety of looks. Again, another photo there using the flippy flip. Now, what about compared to the 27mm real quick? I will do a proper comparison between these two. However, just really quick, this was taken with the 27mm 2.8, and I feel that's also an option that you have if you don't want a big nose, a smaller pancake lens, and you could do street photography with it like I did here. Great, WR, it's weather resistant. So, with the Fuji XT2, which is weather resistant, I had the 23mm here in Niagara Falls. There was mist everywhere, and I was able to capture any kind of misty and sort of wet pictures, knowing that the lens was weather sealed. So that's a plus. But not everything is incredible. Again, it comes down to how you shoot. So I love to shoot really close up, wide open, to show the environment in the background. And so I started testing the lens a little bit more. Was it me? Was it the lens? And so at f2, I started shooting labels, haziness. Here, no matter how much I tried, all these little words weren't crispy, crisp, and sharp. Even with the kit lens was crispy, crisp, and sharp. There was like cicada bug shell that you can sort of, this is not the insect, obviously. I'm not like an insect whisperer. But I put the shell out on this like wood deck. Look how beautiful the bokeh is. The bokeh, this is at f5 and the bokeh is gorgeous. Here I am at f5 to get a really nice sharp picture. Now I'm so close that the background is nice and blurry. Remember, distance to your subject helps out your background. But if you tried this at f2, let me show you. What? No matter what I tried, no matter how I moved, the camera registered as focused, you get the hazy haze. I mean, the bokeh now is like super ridiculous, but you get the hazy haze, man. And that was a no-no. So I shot it at 2.8 to see what would happen here. 2.8, you can see that it focused in this little strip, but still not enough. You know, it doesn't seem to be like a depth of field issue. It seems to be more like it doesn't really focus well at 2.0. Here it is at f4, but I found that like the 5.6, and then I found another shell. I found another shell and put them together. Crazy hazy. Now at 2.0, you can get beautiful bokeh and sharp pictures depending on your distance. So here I was far enough from this little fence thing to get beautiful bokeh in the background and the little chain link thing to be sharp. So it does happen, but not as consistently as I want. Again, I saw a flower, 2.0, found the minimum focus distance, not really anything in focus. It's kind of like a painting haze. I had to move to 5.6. Look at that ant over there. How cool is that? Ant is totally sharp, but I lost the bokeh. Look at the background here, how beautiful it is on the flowers. And then 5.6, I definitely get the flower finally in focus, but the background, I've lost the creaminess. Now, just to try, I brought the 27, I was trying to see if the 27mm at 2.8 would do the same thing. This is the 27. I didn't see any of that kind of like haziness happening with the 27. Again, here's the 27mm. There's the bokeh woman in the background. This is from our photo walk. And this little radish over here is nice and sharp in the corner. So the 27 can shoot minimum focus distance close, wide open, and give you sharper photographs than the f2. Now the 35 beats the 23, just to give you a quick, review right there between the two. Here's the 35 at f2, and everything is kind of sharp there on the flowers, and the bokeh is like, so if you are thinking between the 35 and the 23, and you shoot like I do, which is close up bokeh background, 35. If you're more of a street photographer and you're shooting it like 5.6, you need a prime, 23. Now during our photo walk, someone lent me their 16mm. Oh man, that lens. But here's what it can do. It can do what I like, which is get really close up. If you see here on the sneakers, on the sneaker, these sneakers are hot, by the way. Over here, there's a sliver of super sharp focus. You can even see it on the pants. And then the next picture, oh man, look at this. Look how close you can get with the 16mm. You can see all the rubber and just all the material there. And the background goes into beautiful bokeh, but not hazy and not weird. It's beautiful. Oh my gosh, even closer with the 16. This is not about the 16. But my time with the 23mm was a fun time. It was so fun shooting street photography with it. Walking around just with one lens, one prime lens at the 35 equivalent is great. As long as I was at f4 and above, beautiful. Stick in a bag, 23mm, rocking it. So to sum up, the good, focus is super fast. It's a 35mm equivalent for street. It has a beautiful little aperture ring. The focus by wire, which is annoying, by the way, just spinning forever. That's not a 23mm thing. That's just a Fuji focus by wire thing. The plasticky lens hood, I would replace that if you're getting it. It works fine. It totally works fine. What else? Super fast to focus, really quick. Weather resistant, plus can shoot in the mist. Can shoot gorillas in the mist. The bad, it's ugly. Sorry. And it can't do what the 16mm can do. It can't do what the Rokinon 12mm can do, which is if you want to take pictures of stuff close up and show the background scene, it starts to get hazy sometimes. Even at 2.0, shooting things across the street, they're not tack sharp. Why do you got to stop down to f4? That's kind of a disappointment. So anyway, I'm going to sell it. I'm going to put it up for $1, whatever. I'll put the link below. Whatever it goes for, it goes for. And it's in beautiful condition. I didn't drop this one, by the way. I wouldn't sell the Fuji X-T20 because I've dropped it a bunch of times.